Okay, let's talk about the latest with Teresa, Gia, Joe Gorga, and Louis. It sounds like Gia had some interesting things to say about her uncle's behavior.
Yeah, she did. She talked about how Joe Gorga was apparently really supportive at first, like genuinely happy for Teresa and Louis.
Supportive how?
Well, she mentioned a specific cute scene, I think she called it, where he was just talking so highly about Louis, really positive vibes initially.
Okay, right. But then things changed.
Drastically, according to Gia. She said that the moment Louis started filming for the show, The Real Housewives, it was like something just switched.
And what did Teresa say about this? Did she agree with Gia?
Oh, absolutely. She backed Gia up and she went further. She called Gorga's initial behavior so fake.
So fake. Wow, that's blunt. Especially about her brother.
It is. And she also mentioned feeling guilty. Guilty that someone she loves, Louis, was being treated that way by her own family.
That sounds really tough, feeling caught in the middle like that.
Yeah, and she seemed quite definitive about it. She said something like, there's like no coming back from that. Suggests the damage is pretty deep.
Right. And this isn't exactly new territory for this family, is it? Conflict, I mean.
Not at all. We've seen friction before, definitely. Think about the long-running issues between Joe Gorga and Teresa's ex, Joe Giudice.
Yeah, even when they were technically family brothers-in-law, it wasn't smooth sailing.
Exactly. Remember that infamous family retreat where Gorga called Teresa scum? That was intense.
And didn't it get physical between the two Joes back then?
It did. Joe Giudice actually flipped Joe Gorga onto the ground during a fight. So, yeah, there's a history of pretty serious conflict.
So now the feud is with Louis, Teresa's new husband.
Right. And the pattern seems similar, doesn't it? They were reportedly fine, good terms even, before filming for season 12 really kicked off.
It just keeps coming back to that filming element. Off camera, okay. On camera, not so much.
It does seem to be a potential trigger, or at least a major factor in how these relationships play out publicly.
Which brings us to Teresa's rather creative solution.
Creative is one word for it. A celebrity boxing match.
Between Joe Gorga and Joe Giudice, seriously.
That's what she proposed. She apparently said she'd fucking love to see that.
And Gia was into it too.
Oh, yeah. Gia apparently jumped right in with Joe Giudice versus Joe Gorga. Let's make it happen.
And Teresa thinks Joe Giudice would win.
She seemed pretty confident. Said he'd body slam Gorga.
Okay, wow. But was it just about, like, settling the score, or was there more to it?
Well, money definitely came up. Teresa mentioned Joe Giudice would probably only do it if he gets paid a lot of money.
And then what?
And then she said, then he could give it to me.
Okay. So a financial angle, too.
Seems like it. And Gia even added something about getting a check for all my suffering. So, yeah, maybe partly joking, but it hints at wanting some kind of payback, financial or otherwise.
It's definitely an unusual suggestion for family therapy, let's put it that way.
It might just be her way of expressing all that built-up frustration, you know?
Yeah, could be. Shifting gears slightly, Gia also asked Teresa about regrets, scenes she wished hadn't aired.
Right. And Teresa's answer was pretty immediate, wasn't it?
Yeah, she pointed to the jacuzzi scene with your dad, back from that same family retreat in season 5.
She called it cringe.
Right. And she seemed quick to clarify the details, too.
Yeah, like pointing out she had clothes on and a strapless bra, maybe trying to control the narrative around that moment, even now.
Which happened right after the big fight between the Joes, right?
Exactly. The timing is part of the context. And then she added that little bit of dark humor.
Should have flipped him out the window comment.
Yeah. It's a joke, obviously, but it still shows how much that whole period, those conflicts, still sort of linger.
It really does paint a picture of just how long and complicated these family issues are. Years of tension.
Absolutely. And thinking about all this, the on-camera shifts, the old fights resurfacing, even the boxing match idea, it really makes you consider the impact of living your life, your family drama, out loud on television. How does that pressure change things, you know? How might these relationships be different if the cameras were never there?
Let's dig into this Bethenny Frankel and J. Logan Home situation.
Yeah, the designer who called her out, right, about selling gifted stuff.
Exactly. On Poshmark, he basically said she listed items he'd sent her, like a shirt made from vintage Chanel scarves, which sounds expensive.
$2,000, apparently. And 2 hats as well for like $350 each.
Wow. Okay, so not small gifts.
No, definitely not. And Jay Logan, he seemed pretty upset. He runs a small business, and he actually shared, like, screenshots.
Right, I saw that. Screenshots of the Poshmark listings. And even a DM he supposedly sent Bethenny asking for the stuff back.
Yeah, and he brought up that he was being sued by Chanel. Or, well, he got a cease and desist from them last year.
Oh, right. about using their materials so he could gift the items but not sell them himself.
Exactly. So he's saying, look, I'm dealing with this legal stuff. I can't really afford to just give away high-value items if they aren't going to be, appreciated or used as intended.
Makes sense from his perspective. What do you think about him going so public, though? Sharing the DMs and all that?
Well, it's definitely one way to get attention on the issue. Puts pressure on Bethenny, for sure.
True. But maybe opens him up to criticism, too.
Oh, absolutely. Like maybe he's just trying to get his name out there, which is kind of what Bethenny fired back with.
Yeah. So Bethenny responded on Instagram, didn't she?
She did. Didn't really deny selling them, but claimed it was all for her charity, Be Strong.
Okay. The Wildfire Relief Charity.
Right. She said she has different piles, consignment, giveaway, Poshmark, and his stuff just landed in the Posh pile for Be Strong.
And she did accuse him of wanting fame out of it.
Yep. A classic deflection, maybe. Frame it as charity, paint the other person as opportunistic.
But J. Logan didn't just leave it there. He talked to Page 6.
He did. Said his goal was about sustainable fashion, and then kind of threw some shade, saying he dresses actual icons.
Oof. Implying Bethenny isn't one.
Pretty much. And he even suggested maybe she needed the money from reselling gifts.
Wow. Okay, that's getting personal.
Yeah, it really escalated. It feels like more than just about the clothes at this point. Clash of egos, maybe.
Definitely seems like it. And now there's talk of lawyers.
Yeah, J. Logan's attorney put out a statement called Bethenny's actions outrageous, misuse of gifts meant to support, like, an up-and-coming designer. They're looking at legal options.
So this could go further than just Instagram comments.
Seems possible. And Page 6 added some context, too. They apparently saw DMs confirming Bethenny accepted the gifts, gave her Miami address.
So she knew they were coming.
Looks like it. And apparently, after her team got contacted, the Poshmark listings disappeared and the username changed.
Interesting. At Robbie20 became at Posh Glammy.
Right. And the final bit of context, they'd apparently seen each other recently, like at Kathy Hilton's Christmas party. Nikki Hilton reconnected them.
Wild. Small world. So it wasn't like a totally cold outreach from him initially.
No, seems like there was some prior connection. It just highlights the whole messy world of influencer gifting, expectations, For you listening, it probably makes you think about how transparent these arrangements really are.
Next update we have about Dolores Catania. She was on the Get Real with Kim D podcast.
Ah, okay. What did she have to say? Probably about the whole RHONJ drama.
Yeah, specifically about being called Switzerland. For trying to stay neutral between Teresa and Melissa.
Right, the classic peacekeeper role. Or maybe not so peacekeeper role, depending on who you ask. How'd she take that?
She wasn't having it, really. She pushed back, saying, I've stood there and stuck up and answered for my friends. Even said she translated for them.
Translated, like explained one side to the other?
I guess so. She claims she's done things for castmates that nobody else has done for each other, even for her. Sounds like she feels unappreciated.
Yeah, it sounds like she thinks being neutral doesn't mean she's not loyal. It's a tough spot on their shows, You get dragged in no matter what.
Totally. And she got a little shady, too. Said she wasn't offended by the Switzerland name because it's better than being called what some other people are called.
Ooh, subtle dig. Didn't name names, but yeah, you can guess who she might be thinking of.
Definitely. Next update we have about, a different kind of family drama. The Sheen sisters.
Charlie Sheen and Denise Richards' daughters, Sami and Lola.
Yep. Apparently, Sami went on TikTok and called out her younger sister, Lola.
Oh, boy. What about
Mother's Day gifts, or lack thereof. Sami claimed Lola didn't get their mom, Denise, anything for Mother's Day.
And she put this on TikTok. Why?
Well, Sami said fans were commenting on Denise's Mother's Day Instagram post, saying nice things about Lola, and Sami felt like, hang on, that's not the whole story.
Okay. Setting the record straight, in her view.
Pretty much. And Sami claimed it wasn't just Mother's Day, said Lola also didn't get Denise gifts for Christmas or her birthday.
Ouch. That's a lot of missed occasions.
Yeah, and Sami detailed the Mother's Day stuff. Said she made the reservation, she paid the whole bill, even though Lola supposedly said she'd split it.
Okay, so money was involved too.
Yep. And Sami said she bought flowers, Barefoot Dream stuff, a candle, a card. Like she did the whole thing.
Sounds like she felt she was carrying the load. What was Lola's excuse, according to Sami?
The classic, it's coming in the mail. Sami said she's been hearing that since Christmas.
Oh, man. That excuse wears thin pretty fast.
Apparently so. Sami said she finally confronted Lola and found out, nope, nothing was actually ordered or coming. Accused her of lying.
Yikes. Sibling drama playing out publicly. That's rough.
It is. But, Denise's actual Mother's Day post on Instagram showed her celebrating with both Sami and Lola. Looked happy.
Right. social media versus reality. You never quite know the full picture from just a post.
Next update we have about Paige DeSorbo from Summer House. She shared some news about her egg freezing journey.
Oh, yeah. She's been talking about that on her podcast, Giggly Squad.
She had the retrieval, said they got 28 eggs.
Wow, 28. That sounds like a lot.
Yeah, but apparently only 13 were mature and ready for fertilization.
Oh.
Her doctor said that was still a really good amount, though.
Okay. Still quite a drop off from 28 to 13.
Right. And she knows not all those might become viable embryos, so she's actually thinking about doing another round.
Oh, really?
Soon. Maybe in the fall, she said. Depends on her recovery. She described the whole thing, the injections, the retrieval, as a trauma experience.
Yeah, I bet. It sounds intense. Did she say recovery was tough?
Yeah, she said she underestimated it, felt very bloated, said it gave her a lot more empathy for women who go through IVF, especially multiple rounds.
That makes sense. It's a huge physical and emotional process. Good for her for being so open about it.
Definitely. And she mentioned feeling like a weight has been lifted, pressure-wise, about becoming a mom now that she's done this.
Yeah, that's one of the main reasons people do it, right? To buy some time, ease that pressure.
Totally. She also shared something interesting from therapy years ago.
Oh, yeah.
Her therapist apparently told her back in her early 20s that she'd only ever dated guys who chased her. She never actually, picked out a guy herself.
That's a pretty keen observation. Did that resonate with her?
Sounds like it really did. A big realization for her.
Interesting. And is she dating now? Or enjoying being single?
She said she's actually looking forward to a single summer. Feels like being single in your 30s is different. Kind of chic, she said.
Chic.
How so? She joked about using business dinners as an excuse to decline dates. It feels more adult, I guess.
Huh. Okay, I can see that. Does she know what she's looking for now if she does start dating again?
Yeah, she said she wants someone low-key who fits into her life easily, a nice person who loves his mom. Standard good stuff.
Nice guy, loves his mom. Got it.
And probably not another reality star.
Smart move, maybe. Keep that part of her life separate.
Okay, next update we have about Janet Caperna from the Valley. She was talking about getting arrested before she was 18, apparently. She said it happened twice. She talked about it on the This Side of the Hill podcast.
Twice. Okay, do tell. What happened the first time?
School dance. She and her friends got caught drinking. And then one friend apparently threw up on the assistant principal.
Oh, no. Okay, that'll get the police called.
Yep, police came. Janet said she didn't actually go to jail, but she got suspended from school, which she said was kind of cool because they got an extra week off.
Teenager logic right there. Okay, so what was the second arrest?
That was when she was 17. Got pulled over. Cops found marijuana in her car.
Okay, what happened then?
Got a ticket. Had to sit in the back of the police car. Mom had to come sign her out again.
Mom to the rescue again. Any follow-up?
Community service that time.
Got it. So drinking and marijuana before 18? Seems like she got through it okay.
Yeah. She also mentioned another incident, though, about an alleged theft charge.
Oh, a third thing.
Well, sort of. It was after she quit a job. She didn't return an old work phone right away, and the employer reported it for theft.
Okay. Did she get arrested for that?
No, she was clear about that. Not arrested. She said the employer later clarified they just meant to report the phone as stolen for their records, not actually press charges against her. It was apparently a misunderstanding that got resolved.
Okay. So that one sounds more like a paperwork issue than another run-in with the law. Important distinction.
So if you want to keep up with all this, make sure you subscribe to Realty TV.
Yeah, and hit that bell icon. You don't want to miss our next breakdown.
Thank you for watching this video. See you tomorrow.